All right. Well, thank you, Raz. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. I'm here in Central California, and once again, my name is Keith Hooper. There's two very, very important pieces of information about you you're going to want to know. I was born in the waning months of the last half or the first half of the last century. That means I'm old. So I've been here. So not only have I been with Munitech for a long time, I've been around a long time. And thirdly, and most importantly about it, I found out about Immunical before you did. Okay. So we've been here for 27 years. So Raz was talking about the business and we're talking about what we're doing. And I think it's important for all of you to understand just how truly special you are. Okay. You're special. Okay. You are special. As we look around the world today, we look at our communities and we look at things, you all are very, very unique and very special. And what I mean by that is that you are in touch with a couple of things that a lot of people are not anymore. You're inquisitive. You're curious. Somebody told you about Immunitech. Somebody said something to you, and something caused you to say, "Well, what if? What if what they said is true?" Okay, what if? And so you had that what if moment as you were hearing about this. Well, what if? And then the second part of it that you acted upon is why not? Why not give it a try? Why not see what this is? And this is the part that moves us along. And thirdly, most important, there's something else that I know about each and every one of you, is that you have that natural curiosity of what if and why not. And you're able to control that little voice. Everybody's got that little voice in their head. And they say, well, what little voice are you talking? I don't have a little voice. Yes, you do. That's the little voice I'm talking about. That little voice. You have to be able to control that little voice. So right now I'm going to ask that little voice to go sit over in the corner and take notes. Okay. And so it's what if and why not is really important. It's really important as to what it does. So having that natural curiosity. So when somebody says, well, who am I looking for? Who am I trying to talk to? What am I looking for? I'm looking for the people that are naturally curious. Okay. I'm looking for somebody that's naturally curious, somebody that wants to know more. Okay. And as you go through that process, you're going to be able to expand your business, because if somebody's not naturally curious, they're not going to invest the time. They're not going to be curious enough to find out if what you're saying is true. Now, see, I know what you're saying to them and what I'm saying to them is true. We have no doubt about it. Immunical is simply the most important nutritional supplement you can possibly take. It's a foundation of everything else that you have. So you have to be able to use this product to do that. So you're taking it through this what if and why not. And how do you make people naturally curious? Everybody's looking for that natural little secret of what do you say to somebody to have them have an interest about Immunitech. Rose is looking for that question. Patricia's looking for it. Manuel and Paul and Sue and Patricia and Barry and John. Everybody's looking for this. What do I say to somebody? What is that? What is that? That's going that magic phrase. Whatever somebody said to you that caused you to be curious, whatever that is. And we're going to go through a couple of those things a little bit further on here into what we're talking about. So it's that natural curiosity. But I think it's important to understand a couple of the other things that when our business, because we have a business here. We're not salespeople, by the way. Network marketing was never intended as a sales program. Network marketing was built around a principle. That principle was a person enjoyed a product or service and shared it with their family and friends. That's the principle of network marketing. It's not about going out and going door to door, knocking on doors, selling vacuum cleaners or whatever it happens to be. That's not what we are. It's about having that conversation with people that we care about with simply the most important supplement that they can have in their diet. So we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. But I think it's also we need to address a couple of limiting statements that we all hear in network marketing. Everybody's gone to a network marketing meeting. They've gone to a guru. There's some guru up on stage that's making some statement, and he's saying, well, you've got to get out of your comfort zone. To build your business, you have to get out of your comfort zone. Well, I don't agree with that statement. I got a better idea. Let's expand that comfort zone. Because you think about it, I happen to have the opportunity in one of the gentlemen that owned large cattle ranch out where our operation is at. And I met him later in life. He was in his late 50s when I met him. He might have been 60. But he was the chief uh, pilot, okay, test pilot for Northrop Grumman aircraft. Also had been the chief pilot at Lockheed, okay. And he talked about performance. That when I had a chance to have a conversation, I didn't know John well. I only met him a couple of times, but he always talked about that when they're flying an airplane as a test pilot, that there's an operational window or an envelope, performance envelope. And you hear pilots talk about it. They push the envelope. They don't go outside of the envelope because they crash and burn. It's the same thing with us with our comfort zone. If we get outside of our comfort zone, we're going to crash and burn. We're going to stop talking to people. We're not going to be comfortable. They're going to ask us uncomfortable questions, and we're going to say, "Oh, I don't want to do this. It's embarrassing." Okay. So we're going to talk about how you expand that comfort zone with 7 questions. Okay. The other thing is that you have somebody that comes up on the stage and they tell you, "Well, you know, the reason I'm more successful, to be more successful, you have to get more no's." Now, I want you to think about this for a minute. You bought a book, you bought a seminar, you're watching it online, or you went to a live event, and you got the guy who was telling you or the gal telling you, the reason I'm more successful is because I got more no's. No, they didn't. They got good at getting to yes. They got good at asking the questions that got a yes. They didn't get more no's. They got good at asking questions to get to yes. So we're going to talk about that. So the better idea is expanding your comfort zone and asking questions that lead to yes. So I think there's 7 questions that are very important for us to be able to expand our comfort zone, because I think, you know, these are questions that I know that, you know, all the years ago when I started in network marketing in 1989, when I came to Immunotech in 1990, there was no company. I came to Immunotech before the company started in September of 96. The company didn't start till January. But there's always the questions that we're looking at. So I think there's not necessarily in any significant order here, because I think they're all important. So when you're an Immunotech distributor and you're either talking to somebody on the phone, you've done an event, you're at a social function or whatever, and somebody says, "What do you do?" Okay. Well, what you do means, what do you do? Doesn't mean what do you do in Immunotech. It means, who are you? Okay. I'm an agribusiness guy. I have a number of businesses. Some 27 years ago, I came across a functional foods that help people live longer and better, and that's my passion. Okay. That's what I do. And so once again, what do you do? What do you do means incorporate what you're currently doing. Okay. I know we've got Sue Young on here, and she's a medical courier. So Sue is a medical courier. That's what she does. And she's passionate about helping people live longer and feel better with a functional food. So you take this thing and make this comfortable, because people are scared to death of the question. When somebody asks them a question, what do you do? Okay. Well, be honest with what you do. Okay. You know, I'm an astronaut, and oh, by the way, I came across this functional food that helps people feel better. Okay. Whatever it happens to be. Okay. So you take that and tie that in there. Okay. The other one that is a question that I think causes people to be uncomfortable, and we're expanding the comfort zone. So what do you do? Spend some time on that and develop it out as to what you actually do. Practice it. Okay. Because see, you have to have a conversation with the single most important person that you need to recruit. There is a person you need to recruit into your business. That's the person you see in the mirror. Okay. And you need to recruit them every day. Every day. Because if you don't, the dirty booger will quit. Okay. If you don't keep them recruited, that little voice will take over. Okay. The one that says, "Oh, no, you're not good enough," or, "Oh, no, this isn't right for you," or, "Oh, no, whatever." So every day you have to recruit. That comes back with a whole process of using product and going along with that. And that's a whole additional part of training. But the point is, okay, you have to recruit yourself. So you have to be comfortable with these questions. So recruit yourself every day. But the second question is the people that you want to be able to handle, is this MLM? Is this network marketing? You have to be comfortable for somebody to ask you that question. Absolutely. What do you like best about it? Is this network marketing? Absolutely. What do you like best about it? Is this multi-level marketing? Absolutely. What do you like best about it? See, that's not, most people are afraid of that because they think they need to be defensive of what we're doing. We don't need to be defensive of what we're doing. We have the most unique business model on the planet that allows the average person that's willing to put some time and effort into themselves to succeed. So when somebody says, well, is this network marketing? And you go, absolutely, what I like best about it? Well, so-and-so, I had a cousin's nephew's brother's niece's fiance that put $4 in something and failed. Okay, I understand that. But what was it? And then they tell you what it was, and it was some scam. Well, that's not network marketing. That's not Immunotech. Okay? We have a unique product that you can't get anywhere else. If we don't share it with people, they're not going to know about it. If we don't share with them how to mix it and how to use it and how to have that perfect product experience, they won't continue with it. So we have something that's very unique because you can't buy our product any place else. So is this network marketing? Absolutely. What do you like best about it? And you can work on that. And Raz and I, and they can walk you through some additional points on how you expand on that. One of the other questions that I feared forever was the question of how much money are you making? Okay. How much money are you earning? And people are fearful of that question. So they're not comfortable having a conversation because somebody might ask them, well, how much? Okay, you're doing this. How much money are you making? Well, I appreciate the question, but I'll tell you that Sandra's not going to let you have any of the money. So this doesn't really matter what I make. But I think probably the question that you're really asking is, there are people just like you succeeding now? And yes, there are. There are people just like you, people from every walk of life. Doctor, lawyer, candlestick maker, whatever it happens to be, we have people just like you that are succeeding now. Why do we have that? Because we have something unique that you can't get anyplace else. So yeah, I absolutely, I appreciate the question on how much money I'm making, but it really doesn't matter because Sandra's not going to give you any of it. Okay. In fact, just on a side note, when we started with Immunotech at the very beginning, okay, because they sent checks, they mailed out the checks, and I always kid everybody when the check was a few $100s, it was my business. When the check hit about 2,500, it became our business. When the check went over 10,000 a month, it became her business. Okay. So just how you have that process of what it is. Okay. So it's that process of, how much money you're making, that they're not asking you how much money you're making. They're not. Understand this. They don't care how much money you're making. Okay. What they care about is if they can make money. Is there somebody like them? Is there someone with their skill sets and their background who is successful here? Is there a process to help them become successful? So they're not asking you how much money are you making. The next question, you're talking to somebody and they say, I don't have any health problems. Okay. Well, because this is one of the challenges with testimonials. Okay. If you're using testimonials instead of the research, okay, but you're using testimonials, somebody says, well, I don't have whatever it happens to be. Okay. Because it's a testimonial. Okay. And so the idea is when you're talking to somebody and they go, well, yes, Immunotech, whatever, health, whatever. Well, there's nothing wrong with me. Well, you know what? I know how you feel. But you know what I saw 27 years ago? I saw a study on the animals where the animals that were given Immunocal lived 30 to 50% longer than the ones that weren't given this product. Okay. That's what I saw. I saw the research that said the animals that were given Immunocal that outlived the other two groups by 30 to 50% when it was added to their diet. And the question is, why isn't there human studies? Because they take 50 years to do a human study on longevity. By the way, Sandra and I volunteered. We've been on Immunocal for 27 years. We're part of an open study, is what we always laugh about. So the idea here is when somebody says, I don't need to take Immunocal. Well, you better need to take Immunocal because the people around you may not, and they're going to need you to stay in good health, both physically and mentally and financially, so that you're going to be able to take care of them. So when someone says, I don't have any health problems, that's great. But wouldn't you like to live healthier and longer? Immunocal came about, just a little side note here. Immunocal came about because Dr. Bunos was studying and working on, through being funded by the Canadian government, for a way to shorten hospital stays. so that when somebody went in the hospital, they could cut 1-2 days off their hospital stay. That was the whole process. That's what he was studying when he came about with Immunocal. There's a whole part of that that you can get into. Okay. So when somebody says, well, there's nothing wrong with me. Well, you can be tongue in cheek like me when somebody tells me there's nothing wrong with me, and I smile at them. I go, you don't have any mirrors in your house. Okay. You're aging. Yeah. Okay. So we have some fun with that. So with that, the other question I think people are concerned about, and once again, there's 7 of these. Okay. Why has my doctor not told me about Immunocal? Or what does my doctor, I need to ask my doctor about Immunocal. Okay. That's a question that people are fearful of being asked, is what does my doctor think? Okay. Why hasn't my doctor told me about it? I have no idea why your doctor hasn't told you about it. Because see, all the top researchers in the world are all familiar with Immunocal. Dr. Wolf Droge, who was at Freiburg, Germany, the German National Cancer Institute, a member of the Max Planck Institute in Germany, an adjunct professor of medicine at Harvard, wrote a book on avoiding the first cause of death, which, oh, by the way, is premature aging. And guess what he recommends in his book? You take Immunocal. You've got Dr. Luc Montagnier that just passed away. Dr. Montagnier was the Nobel Prize winner in medicine in 2008. In his book on neurodegenerative disease, cancer, and AIDS, he recommends Immunocal. There's another doctor by the name of James F. Balch, and here in the U.S. and Canada, he wrote a book called Nutritional Healing. It looks like a phone book for a major city, and it's used as a textbook for nutritionists for nutritional supplementation. He never recommended a nutritional supplement by name other than Immunocal. Okay, so I don't know why your doctor doesn't know about Immunocal. That'd be a good question for you to ask your doctor, is why don't they know about it? Because the research certainly says they should know about it. So once again, that's something that you need to handle. Question number 6 that we talk about is somebody says, well, can't I get something just like Immunocal for less money? Can't I get something like Immunocal, just like Immunocal for less money? I can tell you in 27 years, I don't know what it is. See, I've never been able to find anything. So if you can, I would suggest that let me know what it is, because I don't know what it is. See, here's what I know. Immunocal raises glutathione levels. So when you look at Dr. Jimmy's books, you look at all the research from Immunotech, you look at everything that's out there, the reason Immunocal works is it elevates glutathione levels. When you look at everything else that's being marketed, they never say they raise glutathione levels. They don't say that. They say they support healthy levels of glutathione. Well, if you're sick, you already don't have healthy levels of glutathione. So you're supporting what? Low levels of glutathione. Immunocal actually raises glutathione. Okay. So that's the point when somebody says, oh, gee, can't I buy something, can't I buy something just like it for a lot less money? I don't know what that would be with 27 years at Immunotech. Haven't found it. Don't know what it is. Okay. And you get into it. And then number 7, which is a biggie for a lot of people, is I can't afford it or it costs too much. Somebody says, well, I can't afford it or it costs too much. Okay. Well, if you're expanding your comfort zone to be able to talk to somebody, I know what you're talking about. It's good health is expensive. It is expensive. Okay. Ill health is catastrophically expensive. Even if you've got medical insurance, or even if you've got socialized medicine that takes care of that bill, okay, the fact that you're sick and all the expenses that you incur because you're not working and all the other things about it. So ill health is catastrophically expensive. Okay. So what we know about Immunocal is everybody comes from the same position. It's too expensive until they understand the value proposition. See, just the car you're driving, it was too expensive. It was too expensive. There's no doubt about it. It was too expensive. But there was a value proposition of it being able to get you back and forth from work or whatever it was. But there was a value proposition that you said, well, it's worth the money. Okay. So once again, when somebody says, I can't afford it, I understand that. Now, occasionally you have people that you're going to be talking to and they say, well, I'd love to be on the product, but I simply can't afford it. Well, you know what? If I could show you how to get it for free, would that work out? If I could show you how to get it for free, okay? And they go, well, you're just making some story up. Okay, you're using some sales pitch on me. There's no way I can get it for free. Okay, well, we're going to talk about that in just a minute as we move into the next point. But that's not okay. They can get it for free. We'll teach them. We're going to teach them what to do to get it for free because they're going to leverage you. See, they're going to leverage your time, your talents to help them get their product for free. Okay. And so once again, when we do that, when we start somebody, and it's important to start somebody from the right place because see, everything you say and do to that person, when you start that from everything from hello forward, you're training them. So if you make this complicated and you make it all about testimonials or you make it all about something, okay, then and you've been here with Immunotech for 6 months, six years, 27 years, whatever, but you do something that brand new distributor that just is listening to you right now that says, Rose, what do I need to do to be successful here? Okay. You want to train them to be able to do what you just did. Okay. Let me ask you a question. If there was a product that would help you live longer, it had patents of use for the treatment and prevention of some very serious things as an immunotherapy. You can't get it anyplace else. Do you think there's an economic potential here? Okay. So you're walking them through that process and then let them ask the questions and accept the questions. You don't have to be concerned of them asking you a question you can't answer. Okay. The best answer to a question that you don't have the answer to is, I don't know, but I can sure find out. I don't know, but I can sure find out. Because in 27 years, I've been asked a lot of questions I didn't know the answers to. But guess what? I know the answers to them now because in 27 years, I've been asked a lot of questions I didn't know the answers to. But it made that process to go get the answers because you've got the resources to go get the answer, whether it's through Raz or somebody else that's in your upline to go get that answer. So as you bring this people, as you're having that conversation, the idea of all the questions that you ask somebody, whether you've got the names from, I know some people in Ireland did an event and they've got some people to follow up with, okay? The idea is to ask the question that's simply going to do what? Get them to say, well, what if? Okay? What if what they're telling me is true? Or why not give this a try? See, that's where you want to be looking at our money back guarantee. Okay, I think that's the most underutilized portion of what we have here at Immunotech. Ideally, I never want anybody to join me in the business until they've used the product. Okay. Ideally, I want them to use the product. Ideally, I want them to have that experience. So the ideal way to do that is, look, I'd like you to buy 2 boxes of platinum, and I'm going to have them buy 2 boxes of platinum. They can go to the website and buy it. Or if I've got it, they can buy it from me, whatever it happens to be if it's closed. But normally they're going to go to the website to buy it. So here's the deal that we want to make. Okay. Here's the deal we want to make, Patricia, is I want you to buy 2 boxes of platinum. I want you to call me when it arrives. I want to walk you through the process on how you mix it. Okay. Because I want you to have that perfect product experience because that's why this product can't be sold on a store shelf. Because once you mix it, you'll understand that. Because you buy it once, you would put it in a blender and ruin it, or you would end up with a clumpy mess and never use it. So we want to take it through that process. I want you to take 2 packages a day. I want you to do that in 3 weeks, and in 3 weeks we need to have a real conversation. And that real conversation is, do you want to continue to use the product, and let me show you how to get it for free, or make some additional money, or you want your money back? Because see, there's no middle ground. Because if you don't want to continue using it, you don't love it. And if you don't love it, I want you to get your money back. Okay? So I want you to take 2 packages of platinum. Why am I doing it in 3 weeks? Why am I not doing 30 days? Okay? And I'm real concise on this 21 days. From the day they sign up or as a customer, order the product, we're tracking it, we're going through that process, day 21, day 22, whatever, we're having that conversation. Because I don't want them to run out of product. Okay? But see, what did we just teach them? How did we go through the train? What did we just train them to do? Get people to use the product with the money back guarantee. Okay, not sign up as a distributor, because if you sign up as a distributor, it's a 90% back on the product that's resellable. It's a whole bunch of convoluted stuff. But if you start them with the customer program, they're only going to buy once as a customer, because why wouldn't you want to get it for free? Okay. So the next part of that is we're training them. Okay. How do you take that brand new distributor and what do you say to them? Okay. What do you say to them? Okay, great. You love the product. You probably got some people that you'd like to share this with. Okay. Please don't talk to them. Don't call them. Don't email them. Don't send them a text. Don't do any of that. What I want you to do is I want you to put their name and information down on a piece of paper. Okay. Or you can send it to an email to you. Okay. Because you're sponsoring the person. So they're sending you that person's information, and then you can have a conversation with them to tailor the presentation so that we get to what if and why not, okay, through that process without them running off with their hair on fire. Because if they go off and just start talking to people, they're going to burn up their best contacts, okay? They're going to burn up their best 4 or 5 people, and then they're going to be all dejected. So let's get that conversation. So why do you want to sponsor this person? Why would they want to be in business with you? Let me say that one more time. Why would they want to be in business with you? So that's how do you know them and what are the contacts? And then why do you want to be in business with them? What's about them that you think they would be good, that you would want to be in business with them and be here? So you take through that process. Then from there, you can have a conversation and you can tailor the presentation. And it's going to end up one of 3 ways. You're going to go through the process, give them enough information to develop what if and why not, so that they can call that contact and have that initial conversation so that they can cause the person to want to know more. Or they may need to do a 3-way with you or a Zoom call with you, with the person, to set that up. Or sometimes they may not be comfortable with doing that. They might want you to call them on their behalf, and that's okay. The only thing I ask when somebody asks me to do that is let the person know that I'm going to be contacting them. Okay. And then you follow up with them. That's the process that you're teaching. Because see, what you don't want people to fall into the trap of, or you don't want you don't want to show off with all your knowledge. You don't want to show off that you know all there is to know about Immunotech. You don't want to show off that you know all there is to know about the science. Okay. What you want to do is say, look, we have the resources. We have a number of touch points through the company and through our team of touch points of information that will answer all the questions that you've got. So all I need to know is, what do you need to know to get to yes? Okay, what are you looking for? Better quality of life? Are you looking to supplement your income? Whatever. So you take that part and take it through the process of what we're doing, okay? And then you come back to the point of, okay, so we've taken you through the point. You've done the process. You've looked at the stuff. You understand where this is at. And they say, well, okay, well, I love the product. And the comment that I've gotten for years and years in Immunotech, well, the people that I know, they just want to use the product. They don't want to talk about the business. Okay, well, if they don't understand the power that the product and the business are the same coin, they're opposite sides of the same coin. Because see, the only reason they knew about the product of Immunocal and the benefits of it was because there was a business. Because otherwise they wouldn't know about it. Okay, they wouldn't know anything about it if there'd been no business. I shared the story yesterday with one of the corporate people that Sandra and I were introduced to the product. We then introduced it to a friend of ours in Turlock, California, who introduced it to another friend on the East Coast, who introduced it to a friend in Dallas, who introduced it to Wally Kralik in Toronto, okay, who introduced it to another lady, who introduced it to Barry White and Dr. White, and whatever, but it got introduced to a lady by the name of Fosta McGee. And Fosta was, diagnosed with some very serious health concerns and had been a short time to live. That was, oh, by the way, I think 19 years ago, and she's still here. But she introduced it to somebody who introduced it to somebody who was doing a farmer's market in Manitoba, Canada. And a lady by the name of Pat Lawrence was at there, and the person was sharing the stuff. And she was a what if and why not person. And she goes, well, what if this product really does? And why not give it a try? Well, she has two daughters. One of them had a lot of serious health concerns, got on Immunocal, had great benefit from it. Okay. But if there'd been no business, Pat wouldn't have known about it. Okay. Her other daughter, Dina, and her husband decided to start a family. Dina suffered from very, very serious morning sickness to the point that they were going to terminate her pregnancy. She went to the doctors. The doctor says, you can't carry this baby to term. We need you to schedule to come in next week, and we need to terminate the pregnancy. She called her mother when she left the appointment, and Pat got in her car and drove 2 hours in Manitoba to deliver Immunocal to her. And the little boy is either 19 or 20 years old now. Okay. But see, if there had been no, everybody says, oh, that's wonderful. Immunocal is so fantastic. Yeah. But if there hadn't been the message of the business, it would never have gotten to that farmer's market in Manitoba. Learn the business. Don't be bashful about the business that we have here. Okay. The business changes people's lives just like the product does. Be proud of both. Be just as proud of what you're doing here with the business as you are of what you're doing with this product. You know, that's what you want to do. Patricia Karalash, that's there in Saskatchewan. Amazing response and gift this product has been to her. Okay. But if there had been no business, she would never have known about it. She would never have known about this product. You've got other people on here, Sue Young, Dr. White with his wife Fern, my friend Manuel that's there. You've got Michael there in Paris. You've got all of you that are on the call. If there had been no business, you wouldn't have known about it. You wouldn't have known about the healing benefits and the gift of what we know as Immunocal. So don't be bashful about the business. Okay, just understand the business. What separates Immunotech on the business side from everything else? It's the kindest, gentlest comp plan in all of direct sales and network marketing. See, I don't know of another plan because I told you when somebody says, oh, it's too expensive, I can't afford it. Well, if I could show you how to get it for free, would that be okay? Okay, well, what do I need to do to get it for free, Keith? Let me ask you a question. Do you think you could identify one person that if they saw what we were doing, that they would take this business seriously? Yeah, one, not two, not three, not five, one person. Great. If you introduce me to one person who will take this business somewhat seriously as a silver or get to the silver or gold level, somewhere in between that person or that organization that person builds gets to the silver or gold, somewhere between silver and gold, doesn't have to get to gold. Volume. The check for that person that brought it in as a venture, because they're going to get paid down 3 levels, okay, is going to be sufficient enough to pay for the product with one person. See, that's the only comp plan that works that way that I'm aware of. Everything else requires multiple legs, multiple volumes and balancing acts and whatever. Here, because we're kind and gentle, do you think you can identify one person, if they saw what we were doing, would take this business seriously? Great. I think that's all we need to do to be able to get your business, to be able to get your product for free. Sign up in the business, pay the fee to become a distributor, and identify and share with me who that one person is that you'd be willing to bet on that if they saw what we were doing, they would do well. And let me have the conversation with them. That's after you already believe in the product, see, because we did the product as a customer with a money-back guarantee, so they feel comfortable that the people need to know about the product and that they need to continue on it. And when they talk to somebody about the product, they're going to be getting a benefit. That's what we have here. So there's a lot more in 27 years, Raz, that I've come across, but I think I don't want to overstay my time here on this Wednesday morning. So is that what you were looking for, my man?
I personally think that was fantastic. I think we've kind of gone through kind of one of the some of the biggest stumbling blocks. However, this call is here and it's open to the public. So I kind of want to go and reach out to to Jerome, to John, to Rose, to Patricia, etc. And I just want to ask you guys, what is it that Keith said? How does that resonate with you? And then is there just anything else you want to know?
Hello?
Hello, John. We can hear you.
Yeah. Keith, thanks a million. It was the most powerful presentation I've heard to date. It was so inspiring, and it really opened up how we approach people and what to ask. It was just outstanding. And I'm writing down here all the points. So it's fantastic to have moving forward. And a lot of the points will be brought up tomorrow night at our meeting in Mallow if you agree perhaps to share what you have told us. So all good. Thanks very much.
Well, thank you for the kind words. The idea here of what we're doing is we're comfortable. How can you not be comfortable talking about a product that's going to make people's lives better? I'm going to cover the one thing that we talk about. People say that somebody, say, well, how many people have told you no? In 27 years, I don't know. There's some people I think they told me no, but I didn't hear that. What I heard was not right now. Okay, just so you know, they may have thought they told me no. I'm not sure. Okay, but that I didn't hear no. What I heard was they're not, because what is there to say no to? A better quality of life and living longer, and you can't get anyplace else, and it's safe to take every day for the rest of your life, and you don't want to know about it? Well, maybe there's some timing issues here, so maybe right now is not the time. All right. Anyone else have anything, Raz? You think?
Yeah. Jerome, Rose, Brian, anybody?
Hello.
Hello. Hi,
Yes,
Patricia.
hi. I thoroughly enjoyed the presentation, and I'm going to go about it in a different way because I normally try and push for the product and the business, but like Keith said, I'm going to focus more on just the product because I don't know, it's so difficult in UK. It's so hard. When I started, I had quite a number of interests, but they've all tapered off. The ones who have remained, they would like to have the product, but they just can't afford it.
Right. So you take them through the process of, okay, who do you know, if they saw what we were doing, would do well at it? And let me talk to them for you. That's what,
They don't know anyone. That's the problem. It's very, very hard in UK.
it's very hard. It's very hard everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. The whole world is that way. But the idea here is to expand your comfort zone, because once again, you have to be talking to people that are unique and special like you are. That they do ask, well, what if? What if and why not? So, okay. Thank you, Patricia.
Yeah.
Keith, Jerome here from Ireland.
Yes, Jerome.
Keith, look, thank you very much. I've gained a lot out of it tonight because I actually asked Raz to actually to do something like this because I was getting people to do well, but not converting them over the line. And I think it was the way that I was approaching it. And I've sold a lot of stuff in my life, like financial stuff, and done very well at it. And I was finding this tough because, I'm successful, I'm positive, but you've given me a few slants there now that I can use and a few slices of the cake, because I always describe the business to people as a cake, and I want to get a slice of the cake. That was always my opening line. And it's like what you said, curious, why not, what if? And that's why I'm using Immunocal for the last 6 months, and it's through my colleague John Vaughan, because I was tired and I was cranky and working hard, and this has given me a new lease of life. I'm doing stuff now that I wasn't doing, and I think the greatest gift we have here is to tell people. That's what you're telling us. Tell people, tell them, So look, thank you very much. You've certainly jigged things around for me a bit anyway, and I may be calling you for an odd tuition here and there, but thank you again, Keith.
We're here. That's what we're for. The point that we want to have is that we're talking to people. Look, if I care about somebody and they don't know about Immunocal, I'm kidding myself. I don't care about them. Okay. If they choose not to take it, that's on them. But them not knowing about it, that's on me. Okay. Yeah. See, I don't want that phone call. And it says, oh my goodness, I wish I had told them about Immunical. I don't want to get that phone call.
Yeah.
Okay. So but to be able to do that, you have to be comfortable. You have to be in that comfort zone, expand that comfort zone. Look, it's up to you whether you use this product or not. That's entirely up to you. It's not up to you if I tell you about it. Okay. That's up to me. Okay. And I'm going to sleep well because I'm going to tell you about it. Yes, Rose.
Yeah, thank you, because I've been feeling like a fish out of water for so long. Raz, thank you. as I've burnt his ear enough about it. So it's given me lots of pointers. We have it's an amazing product, and I know it's just going to fly out if we can just get people to just try it. Just try it.
And understand that the person you have to sell every day is you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm doing that every day.
Yep. You got to do it every day. You got to sell you, and then understand the result. Understand business. Okay. So often the function of a business is to get and keep customers. The goal is to make money. Okay. Oftentimes people get the goal and the function confused. And when they do, they go out of business. So they're going out there, they're talking to people, and they're not making any money. Okay. Mm-hmm. They're going, oh, I'm a failure. Well, if you're bringing people to Immunotech and they're using the product and you're continuing to do that, you will make the money. Okay. The money will take care of itself as long as you do the function of getting that customer, getting that person started, getting them started right, nurturing them, and continue to provide them. A lot of reasons people don't follow up with people is they're afraid they're going to ask them a question or they're going to say that they're unhappy. Okay. If you're unhappy, let's make you happy.
Take more.
Let's get you happy. What do we need to do to get you happy? Okay. If you're not happy, you use the product, you don't think it's worth it, you need your money back. Let's make you happy. Let's get you your money back. Are you using the product? You don't know if it's doing anything for you. Okay. Well, let me give you some additional information on why you need to take it. Because see, you may not be like my wife, Sandra, who knew the product worked in a matter of days. You might be like me. And it took 8 months for me to know Immunical. I couldn't tell you Immunical did anything for me for 8 months. But here's what I knew. There was a patent of use as an immunotherapy for the treatment and prevention of cancer on Immunical. My grandfather died of cancer. My father had died of cancer. My mother had cancer. I'm taking Immunical. Okay. I knew there was the studies on the animals where the animals live 30 to 50% longer that were taking Immunical. I didn't need any other reason to take Immunical. See, it was a decision because, my point is to spend all my money so my kids don't get an inheritance. Okay. Their goal is to make sure to try to control how much money I spend. Okay. So, but the idea is to go through that process. So, but anyway, have some fun with this, but expand your comfort zone. Okay. Every day you're going to expand your comfort zone. How are you going to do that? By watching I know Raz is saying he's got Dr. Gutman coming on next the 11th, I think you said, or whatever of October. Expand yourself. Invest in some information, not just product. Okay. Avail yourself to the stuff that the company has. There's a YouTube channel of mine called Keith Hooper on YouTube. There's a number of videos that are up there that we've put up. Okay. A lot of them we've taken them off so they're not public anymore, so you can't access them. So everything that's there is compliant. Okay. And we have the video from a few weeks ago or 2 weeks ago when you had Dr. Hugo on. And there's stuff with Dr. Gutman. There's a lot of things there that you can avail yourself of that will allow you to expand that because the point is expanding your comfort zone so that you're at some function, okay, a birthday party, a wedding, a social event of some kind, or get together. You ran into a friend you haven't seen in years somewhere at the market or whatever, that you can have a confident conversation about and weave Immunotech and Immunical into that conversation to cause them to want to know more. Okay. All right,
Thank you.
Rez, we're almost at the top of the hour.
We are. So what I'm going to do is one last whip around.
Can I ask Keith one more question?
Please.
Please.
The floor is yours.
Keith, we've given a lot of your time tonight, but just one thing I want to ask you. When you started out in this business and when it started to build, now there's a lot about legs and sharing and all this, and it's very confusing. Do you just kind of work on getting people into the business and sharing them down along one leg, or how do you go about it? Now, I know if we're at that level of business, it'll take care of itself, but just to give us some kind of information, what do you do? Are you afraid to, if you don't put someone under you already, or do you start a different leg? You know where I'm coming from.
That's a whole, if the person you're talking to is your contact, someone that you know, okay, you sponsor them personally. If they're coming from a lead, they're a group of you working leads, you're doing some stuff together, you can weave that mosaic together, okay? But if they're your contact, you don't put them under somebody they don't know. Okay.
We've a very kind of a tight unit now working together, say.
Then that's
you know
fine.
What I mean?
Yeah, so if somebody knows somebody and they all know each other, then you put you put that person in where they need to be to represent that genealogy of contacts.
Mm-hmm. Because it builds itself. I mean, some people are fearful that they'll lose out.
Mm-hmm. But see, when you start somebody new, okay, so when Sandra and I joined Immunotech, okay, there was I got to pull it out of the filing cabinet, but I've got a tablet, and it had 22 names on it. Okay. I've only sponsored 20 of them, of the 22 that were on that list. There's 2 more of them. The timing's not right. Okay. And it took years. Bill Nash, a friend of mine, okay, took 17 years for the timing to be right for Bill. My friend Gene Northrup, okay, and haven't sponsored Gene yet. Because the timing's not right. It's not that the opportunity's not right. It's not that Immunical's not right. It's the timing's not right with Gene. So what I tell with everybody is make that list of people that you would like to be in. Here's the question that you have to ask yourself. The people on the list, why do you want to be in business with them? And you're going to need a list of 20, 25 people. Okay. I don't care, if they're people you haven't talked to in 5 years or 10 years, doesn't matter. If there's somebody you'd like to be in business with, get them down on a sheet of paper. The universe, God will take care of somehow for you to meet up with that person, for that connection to come back. So even if you don't know how to get a hold of them, get them down on a piece of paper. But the questions you have to ask have to be pretty hard. The hard question is real simple. Why do you want to be in business with them? And why do you think they would want to be in business with you? Because see, if you have that question, like my friend Gene, I know why I want to be in business with Gene. I know why I think Gene would want to be in business with me. So the only thing that causes that not to happen is the timing. Okay. It's just a timing issue. Okay. Because the timing may not be right. If you're talking to somebody and they've got a wedding coming up in 3 weeks and, they got this and that and whatever, don't try to get them into the Immunotech business. Okay, they're busy. They got a lot of stuff going on. So once again, understand and appreciate the timing. But the key to this is you're going to talk to people who are not curious. And if they're not curious, there's nothing you can do.
Very good.
Okay. If they're not curious, if they don't say, well, what if John is telling me is what if what that man is telling me is true? Okay, what if? Okay, well, you know what? Why not? Why don't I get some more information? Okay, and that's where you want to go. Yeah. Okay.
Brilliant.
Well,
Thank you.
It's last call for the last call. Any comments or questions? I want to take advantage of Keith's time because this has been eye-opening, and I'm sure it's been a really big asset to everybody here. So. Anyone else curious or having any questions or comments, you now have your last opportunity.
So Keith, if you're going to introduce this amazing product. What's your opening line if you're going when you're going to introduce it? You know, random somebody you just met.
What I'm going to do first, I'm going to
Yeah.
find out about them. I'm going to find out about them, Rose. I'm going to ask them because see, if I ask them some questions, they'll tell me why they need to know about Immunical. Okay, if I ask some kind, gentle, probing questions, hey Rose, it's really great to meet you here. You know, we're at the social function. Why are you here? Okay, well, gee, you know, what do you do? What's your background? What is this or that? I'm going to ask you some questions to get to know you a little bit, and in that process, you're going to tell me a couple of things that I'm going to be able to key off of to tell you how Immunical will make your life better. Okay. So there isn't just something that I can come up and just blatantly say with a, you know, broadcast, hey, you guys need to know about this Immunical stuff. Oh, by the way, if you don't, you're going to die prematurely. I mean, it's going to be a damn painful experience. Okay. But you have to, because the idea is when you understand the business, 3 to 5 people, if you sponsor 3 to 5 of the right people, they will set you free financially. Not 20 or 30 or 50 or whatever. 3 to 5.
Yep.
Okay. So you're not out trying to sponsor the world. You see, there's only one thing worse. There's something worse than missing the opportunity to sponsor somebody. And that's to sponsor the wrong person. If you sponsor a whiner and complainer, guess what they are masterful at? They are masterful at whining and complaining. I would rather sponsor an axe murderer than a whiner and complainer because, see, with an axe murderer, it's over quickly. Okay? With a whiner and complainer, they'll complain you to death. Okay? You don't need them because you've got to remember, how many people are you looking for, Rose? 3 to 5.
3.
3 to 5.
3 to 5.
3 to 5 is what you're looking for. 3 to 5 people that'll take this business seriously. Does that mean you're going to sponsor 3 to 5 people? No, you're probably going to sponsor 10, 12 people over a period of time. Maybe you're like me. You know, I think Sandra and I sponsored 20 or 40. I think we sponsored a total of 42 people in 27 years. Oh, by the way, last month, 18 of them bought product. I got people that only buy product once or twice a year. But every single month, I've got from 18 to 20 people, 22 people that buy product on any given month. Okay. Well, why is that? Because they understand the value of Immunical. They understand the value of the product. They may not be, you know, out building the business, but they probably sponsored 1 or 2 people anyway. Okay. But they're not actively building the business, but they're committed to the product because it knows it makes their lives better. Okay. So the idea is here, who are you sponsoring? Why do you want to be in business with them? Okay. And that's what I would do with Raz. You got a great resource with him. So if you're talking to somebody and you go, this is a great prospect. Okay. Well, they're a great prospect. Why? Why do you want to be in business with this person? What is there about them that would make them a great business partner? See, I know what would make Patricia Karolash a great business partner. I know what would make Michael a great business partner and Manuel and Dr. Barry. Okay. I know what would make them great business partners. I know what would make all of you great business partners because you're curious. Okay. You're curious. Okay. Thank you, Raz, for having me.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the time. It's been a really big asset, and I'm